Whew, sorry I'm late. I always have to guess when these videos start. In this video, I'm going to tell you how exactly TikTok is becoming king of content due to its specific algorithm. I'm going to tell it to you from a data scientist point of view, and then I'm going to tell you how YouTube and TikTok are fundamentally different. And the galactic wars that are about to be waged in the content space will be epic, will involve you, whether you're a creator or a watcher. And if you want to stay until the end, you're going to learn a ton. By the end of this video, I'm going to help you answer questions like, if I'm a small creator, do I start on YouTube or TikTok? Or if I'm a TikToker already, do I move to YouTube? Or if I'm a YouTuber already, do I move to TikTok? And how do I smash the like button and the subscribe button if I'm new? Because that is going to help me keep up and stay up to date and help you productively become a high-functioning, high-paid member of society. Wink. And with that, we're starting right now. The date, middle of December 2020. About 165 days ago, I started posting on YouTube on Father's Day of 2020. I have now accrued over 69... Don't laugh. I have now accrued over 69 videos, and I still have not blown up on YouTube. Although I do have a healthy 1.5 thousand subscribers, so thanks to each and every one of you. However, what is happening in this Tiki-Talkie website? I posted my first TikTok in August. It's only gotten 100 views. I posted my second TikTok in August. It's gotten 200 views. And I posted my third TikTok in October to 300 views. My fourth TikTok, a 15-second blurry video where I take off my mask in the garage and I tell you 10 seconds of information about what an interviewer expects from you during an interview. And that's gotten 30,000 views. Basically, due to this video alone, I've gotten over 400 followers and 1,200 likes. So, why did it happen so quickly on TikTok? What's the difference between TikTok and YouTube's algorithm? Can a data scientist explain how TikTok and YouTube's algorithms are different? The way this video is going to be broken up is I'm going to talk about the algorithms specifically. Then I'm going to talk about what the pros and cons are of each of the two algorithms. And then I'm going to talk to you about how it's possible for a video to blow up so much quicker on TikTok, especially since there is a lot less work to be done here. It took me 90% more work to get situated on YouTube. I needed to find an appropriate name. I needed to make channel art, which involves a lot of hours on Photoshop. I needed to be able to understand how to edit the videos perfectly in Premiere. I needed to get a proper camera. I needed to get a proper mic. I needed to find the time to quietly record within the confines of living in $3,000, $4,000 rent in the Bay Area. All of these constraints aside, it still takes almost 5 to 6 hours per video, even though I've gotten it so streamlined. But a TikTok, on the other hand, can really only take the 15 seconds that the content goes into it. Whatever you take away from this video, I want you to remember that if you have knowledge to spare, if you have enough to build an entire YouTube channel out of and you're not on TikTok quite yet, go into this space. It is fully unsaturated for you to be able to put out your knowledge into it, so that you can start really leveraging how much time you can put into your content and reap the fruits of being able to claim unclaimed territory. The YouTube algorithm is a recommender system. It takes in many different features, which is also known as measurements or metrics or whatever you want to call them, things that you can measure when you interact with the YouTube space. However, there's only two features that actually really matter: retention and click-through rate. Retention is how long a user stays on the platform. So if you're a new YouTuber or you're an old YouTuber, it's all the same, very meritocratic. You need to be creating content that takes a user and then lets them watch as much of the video as possible. Whatever amount of the video they watch over the total video length, that is the percentage which we call retention. The second and arguably more important factor that leads to retention and leads to the number of views a video gets and leads to everything else such as liking and commenting is click-through rate. When YouTube shows a YouTube video thumbnail to a user on YouTube, then that is counted as an impression. So every time you see a new thumbnail, or perhaps even an old thumbnail the second or third time, that counts as you getting impressed by the thumbnail. You have now increased the denominator for the click-through rate metric. But the only way to increase the numerator of the click-through rate is to then click it. This is tricky because at all times you're looking at over 10 impressions when you are scrolling through your YouTube feed, when your YouTube search, and your YouTube homepage. This leads us to what is a healthy click-through rate. Well, since there's over 10 videos shown impressed on a viewer at one time, then it'll be really hard to have a video with a click-through rate of higher than 10% consistently. Because in a world where all thumbnails are equally appealing, then your video has a 1 in 10 chance of getting clicked. But that's not always the case. If you take away something from this video, a golden standard for how a video can go viral on YouTube is having a 10 to 20 minute length, having a greater than 50% retention, and holding a greater than 10% CTR, click-through rate. This passes certain thresholds for YouTube. YouTube needs to look at the two metrics that I talked about, click-through rate and retention, and then try to decide whether or not it's comfortable taking the risk to push your content to a new person that's never seen it before. That's why on your recommendation side, whenever you see any video on YouTube, you start seeing videos that really are kind of enticing, kind of clickbaity, kind of question asking. You want to know what happens when you click that video, even though it has nothing to do with your previous search history. However, more likely you're having recommended videos that have a lot to do with your previous watch and search history. That is how a recommender system works. It is looking at your behavior and trying to see which other users you actually behave very similar to, because it is trying to map you to a human archetype, assuming that humans really only follow specific set paths, like we're all player pianos or hosts from HBO's Westworld. This ends up being pretty accurate because we need to also estimate what your lifetime value is. We need to see how much money you're gonna make YouTube overall through the course of your time on YouTube. And by time, I mean all the time you will ever spend from the first time you install it to the last time you'll ever see a YouTube video. And you know what that means. The way you generate revenue for YouTube is by watching ads. It's one of the most important, if not the only way that YouTube generates revenue from you as a user. The YouTuber has a couple of different ways to generate more revenue, and I can cover that in a future video about how I was able to make thousands without being monetized on YouTube yet. That's for a different day. Now that you have an intimate understanding of how the YouTube algorithm works, let me cover TikTok. TikTok is going to be fairly different from the outset. There's music involved, or also called sounds on the platform. You can make your own original sound by just recording a video, just like the predecessors to TikTok, otherwise known as Musical.ly. Before TikToks, there were Vines and other short form content. After TikTok, there are Instagram Reels and now YouTube Shorts. You notice that there's a trend. Short content has an upper hand because it takes less time to watch them. Imagine the opposite side of the content consuming landscape. Imagine Netflix. When you make choices on Netflix for what you want to watch, you're really only making choices every 20 minutes to an hour and a half. Truly, you are making choices based on what you want to watch on a day-by-day cycle rather than by a minute-by-minute cycle. Today, you might binge 4 episodes of The Office. Well, Netflix now knows you definitely like The Office, and it doesn't know a lot more about you. So it can't push new content because it's too risky. You're just a guy that likes The Office. On YouTube, it's very similar. If you watch 4 10-minute videos and then call it a day, YouTube only has those 4 10-minute videos. Now, obviously, you can watch more content within the same amount of time on YouTube because those videos are shorter. But what if they were super duper short? And what if they got to the point so fast, basically in 15 seconds or 60 seconds, that you can then immediately binge another? Because just by swiping, you suddenly get to see something else entirely new. That is the crux of how TikTok's algorithm becomes king. It still cares about retention and click-through rate, but since you are mostly swiping through and seeing a feed of videos one by one, then retention is much more important, because if you bounce as a view, by which I mean if you swipe into a video and then immediately swipe off, or maybe within the first 2 to 3 seconds, that means that that video isn't for you and the recommender system updates immediately. On YouTube, if you watch a video that wasn't suited for you, you might end up just leaving the platform entirely, because YouTube doesn't automatically play something else by you swiping one direction or another direction. No matter how you slice it, YouTube is still about feeling comfy, feeling like you need an intro to your videos, feeling like you need to have a set, have dogs and stuff. TikToks are just right in your face. You can take it anytime, and the more like you feel like you're right there with the person, and the cheaper the quality of the video, oftentimes becomes more like the video is meant for you. It was bespoke. It was something that was made on the fly and has the most authentic content. But the core of TikTok's algorithm is something specific to the recommender system. It is able to have a myriad extra features because of the music, the sounds. The sounds have different genres that could have synergy with each other. The sounds can connect different content types when you search by sound instead of by content. Someone who likes gardening YouTube might end up finding mushroom YouTube, but someone who likes lawyering YouTube would never find mushroom YouTube. However, on TikTok, it's just a swipe away because anyone can use any sound that's existed in the past. And a viral song by Doja could actually be the bridge between understanding the difference between a 15-year loan and a 30-year loan and padding on mushrooms in the middle of the woods. Those two genres would be entirely incompatible on YouTube, and forget about Netflix. It would be too risky to try to bridge those two user groups. However, sounds becomes a meritocratic playing field for everyone to be able to show off their content. You see, when people go on TikTok and see content that they don't like or they didn't sign up for from a new user, someone who's trying to grow, TikTok didn't actually suffer from that. Total session time doesn't decrease because the user just shows their dissatisfaction by swiping away, by going to another video, and there they go. TikTok can even change how frequently they show risky content by seeing how often the user swipes away. If they start swiping away too often, you don't want to lose them, TikTok. Reel them back in with some bona fide good content that you know that they'll like. So there's the rub. While YouTube has the power of Google behind it and becomes a search engine for understanding and learning things in a visual way, TikTok becomes the ultimate entertainment content for media that you didn't even know you wanted to learn, grow, communicate, and collaborate with people online from entirely different genres. Opens up your mind, really. That might not be able to teach you as much as YouTube, but definitely doesn't waste your time, or depending on how you think about it, it can end up wasting hours and days of your time. If you want me to go into more detail about recommender systems or even the intricacies of the machine learning elements, I'd be happy to do so from a data scientist point of view. But today, I hope you have a pretty technical understanding of how the algorithms in YouTube and TikTok work. So what did I do to this video to get it viral? Did I plug it with a bunch of hidden keywords? Did I make sure to get the perfect sound? No. Honestly, this video took maybe less than 5-10 minutes, and I'm going to show it to you right now. So an interviewer says you have to give a salary expectation. What do you say? Background noise. This is a common interviewer trick. They're trying to lowball you by saving 10 to 15% and not on Geico. If you want more helpful tips on what to say, misdirect them. Follow me for more. You're done? You're done? Oh, it was 15 seconds. That's right. Hold on. Cool. So, did you like it? Was it high quality enough for you? Well, I know for a fact that that kind of video would definitely fail on YouTube. Low quality sound, low quality editing, and most importantly, YouTube has a dislike function. And since I didn't answer the questions in the video itself, this video would get blammed to heck in the algorithm when a bunch of people dislike it, just like how a bunch of angry comments ended up flooding in the TikTok. However, sentiment does not matter when it comes to TikTok. You can only heart and add to the engagement of a video. For better or worse, this kind of content that asks an intriguing question about a relatable topic and then offers to give you the answer for a follow ends up thriving on TikTok. If you were curious, I did end up making a part 2, so if you wanted to know what you actually say when an interviewer asks you that question, go ahead and check out my TikTok, Andrew Mo Money. As part of the 30-day challenge, I've been creating a single video on YouTube every single day in the month of December, leading up to my birthday and beyond into Christmas, into Jesus' birthday. But the main point of that endeavor is so that we can see some growth on the channel. People can start finding consistency in my upload schedule and be confident that they will start seeing similar trends and see me experiment and try to draw in new audiences. That is also 30 additional chances to try to go viral. Not happened yet, but maybe it's this video. Maybe it's the next one. Who knows? Each of these videos still takes 5-ish hours of my time and my compass time, helping me edit and put all of these videos together. So that's 2 people's times and Professor Meatball's time to be able to bring content to you guys. This is kind of a raw deal because YouTube is still going to suppress these contents based on the recommender system, based on how similar a user who likes personal finance and also likes data science is to a user who voraciously goes down the YouTube rabbit hole. Hopefully, I'm covering enough audiences that I don't alienate too many people, but also draw in both sides of the audience at the same time. I do a trivia question at the end of each of these videos, and today is no exception. I'm going to ask you an old favorite of mine. This is not going to help you with your interviews, but it's just so darn fun. If a plane crashes between California and Nevada, where do you have to legally bury the survivors? If you know the answer, put it in the comments below. I'll jumble up the answers and I'll pick a winner to get a free consultation from me on data science or whatever you want it to be on. As always, if you had a brand you wanted me to plug in one of these videos, then go ahead and screenshot this video, put it on your Instagram stories, tag me, Andrew Mo Money, and I will give you a shot to be featured in a future video. As in The Art of War, Sun Tzu said, always look behind you. And as always, for now but not for forever, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Sorry I'm late. I hope you've